So this is how a nerve impulse is carried. It is received at the dendrites, then in the form of an electrical impulse it is transmitted through the axon to the next neuron. Alright, and at the synapse some chemicals are released. These chemicals are received by the dendrites of the next neuron. Again, in the cell body of the next neuron, an electrical impulse will be generated, and this is how the nerve impulse is carried from one neuron to the other, then to the other, then to the other, and finally either up to the spinal cord or to the brain. Alright, now I have drawn here a neuromuscular junction. Alright, this is a muscle which is called an effector muscle. Now, effector organs are either muscles or glands which are capable of responding to a stimulus, mainly capable of responding to a nerve impulse. Alright, so what happens here? The impulse is coming like this. Alright, the impulse is coming like this, and here again this muscle is in direct contact with the neuron. Alright, so again here some chemicals will be released, and these chemicals will be passed on to the muscle, which will activate the muscle and cause its contraction. Alright, if it is a gland, then the gland will start to produce chemicals. Alright, so at a neuromuscular junction, it is the point where a muscle fiber comes in contact with a motor neuron. This is a motor neuron. Now, neurons are of two types. One is called sensory neuron and the other is called a motor neuron. The sensory neuron takes messages from the organ to the brain or the spinal cord, and the motor neurons bring the messages from the brain or spinal cord to the organ. Alright, so when the cat will see the mouse, alright, so the sense organ involved here is the eyes. So the message will be taken to the brain by the sensory neuron. Alright, and then the brain will direct, it will create a response. And what is the response? That the message will be brought about from the brain to the organ, and at this junction between the motor neuron and the effector muscle, yes, at the synapse certain chemicals are secreted which will activate muscle contraction, and therefore the muscles of the legs of the cat will contract, causing movement. Alright, so the transmission or the path of transmission of nerve impulse is this.